All right. So let's see something real quick. See something. Go back to this. All right. So so URL smack track to smack track to URL tournament just finished. Dope situation. Dope situation with that. It's a dope situation. Um, from the beginning when the bracket, like the whole bracket came out, Smack's kind of gone. Like what 2 weekends ago, you just had the the Maryland Crucible, and then turn around 2 weekends later, Smack Fast Track to URL. So it was dope. It was dope. If you watched it, Smack streamed it on Twitch. So something dope to watch. Um, I'm gonna add this so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Yeah. So gonna add this. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about right here. Just finished up on Twitch the Smack Track to URL tournament. If y'all don't follow Smack's Twitch, go follow it. Real Smack White. Smack's giving us 2 great weekends with free content, free battles, free like announcements in between. So you can't even be mad at it. Um, if you watch, if you miss anything, you can go back and watch it. It's on Smack's Twitch, the real Smack White. You had Appa and Gary Austin, Young Allen, Gorilla, Raw and Dollar Bill, the Monster, and not counting the Prophet. Um, all solid names. All are solid names. When we get to talking about the tournament, first round of the tournament, Raw versus Dollar was their matchup. Um, Raw won. You know, I'm just so happy for Raw. I am. I'm very happy for Raw. Like him getting the different opportunities that he's getting to showcase his talent, and especially when you are real, um, he's been having a really good year. He's been having a really good year. Um, he came prepared. He came prepared. Um, Raw definitely was. A lot of people like he's underdog when we talk about some of the other names that are in the tournament, but nonetheless, Raw shows you why he's one of those. Like Raw had good bars, good performance, um, solid first round. Um, Donna had good bars, energy, and performance too, but he wasn't fully clean, and I think that would be the only difference. Um, that's how Raw made it through to the second round. Then you had Monster versus Nakim the Prophet. Um, Nakim Nakim was going off. I think also him not being clean would be. Um, and then like him not being clean definitely played a part in him not moving on. Like Monster was clean, energy, performance, good bars. So Monster moved on. Um, Gary Austin and the Oppa, DMV or DMV crime. Um, Oppa's from Cambridge, Maryland. Gary's from the district. I already knew when they were lined up to a battle, Gary versus Oppa was going to be one of them. This was a great situation for the both of them. Gary haven't seen Gary battle in a little bit. But to me, Gary's always been unique, and when you see him battle, like you see all the great qualities that he possesses when he battles. So I hope this will you know hopefully get Gary outside. You know, and then everybody's talking about, oh, Gary sound like she, Gary sound like she. Um, y'all say that every time a DMV nigga battles. Like y'all start comparing them to somebody else who's from there. So I already knew y'all was gonna say it, you know. But I'm happy to see Gary. Like y'all talked about his lisp. He has a whole like saying like slogan with it, if you will. So that wasn't a big deal, and that doesn't define Gary as a battler. Like Gary is tough. Gary's tough. He's really good. I hope this kind of like kicks off seeing him a lot more. You know, like he had really good bars, good delivery, good performance. Like I said, y'all comparing him to Sheed, I already knew that was coming. You know, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, but it was expected. You know, y'all really do have a thing with comparing people to one another. You know, maybe because they from out the same way. Niggas had the same, kind of basically sound the same. Could that could be something too. Um, Appa with the crazy the rebuttal to start the round against Gary was crazy. It was crazy. Appa's bars, energy, the performance, his impersonation of Gary was on point. It was on point. It was funny. Um, Talking about his list, you know, if you ask me, Appa counter wrote great for Gary Austin. Like he knew specifically things that he would say, and Appa was able to counter right to boom, 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 boom with it, which made for it to be a great one rounder, you know. But Appa ended up winning. Appa, Appa moved on. Um, Gorilla, Monsoon, and Young L. You know, Gorilla was running late. You know, they said this about the weather and the traffic and everything going out there in Florida. You know, so it took Gorilla a while to get there. It took Gorilla a while to get there. But for them to have to have waited for Gorilla, it did not stop him from having a solid round and rapping well. Um, like he talked about him being late. Um, like he made, see that's the thing when certain things get in the way, Gorilla used it as a way to rap about it and kick off the round to get and it worked. Gorilla had a really good round, good material, good energy, good bars, performance. Um, he didn't disappoint. He didn't disappoint. You know how sometimes people be running late and then it's not up to par. Like and the performance and the material isn't up to par sometimes. Uh, so sometimes you gotta. Gorilla Monsoon definitely didn't disappoint. He didn't disappoint. He had a solid round. Young L with the fake choke to start his round off. Uh, I don't feel as though it was necessary, but it went into him in the round and not being picked with the Crucible. Um, to me, with the first round, it took him a little minute to heat up, but once he did, he was on it. He was on it once he got into a good rhythm with it. Um, he ended up winning. Whereas I felt as though Gorilla was solid from the beginning all the way through. I felt as though it did take Young L a little minute to like really heat it up, but once he got hot, it was going. He was going. So he won. Um, then the second round. Going into the second round, we had Monster versus Raw. So Monster Monster was good. He paced good, had good bars. Um, the Everybody Hates Chris bar was dope. Uh, the Kelly Price friend of mine bar was dope. The Teddy Riley bar was cool. He had some good bars, but he wasn't clean. He wasn't as he wasn't as clean as he was in round one. And then it did seem like Monster was a little tired, like gas toward the end of that round, and you can like physically see it. Um, Um, I thought that Monster's first round was better than his second. Um, like overall cleanliness, material wise, that's how I viewed it. Raw had that answer in my head like a cheat sheet that was dope. Uh, like Raw's bars, energy, pacing, performance stayed the same through the rounds. The mid condition bar was good. The oil based bar was good. Um, I had the Cody 3 times like Geechee Gotti was crazy. Um, Raw won and moved on. Um, then we got the Young L and Appa. Appa was crazy out of the gate. Appa had a more like comedic round, but he was still boring. So I can understand some people, viewing it a certain type of way. I still think Abba was boring with it, even if you felt as though he was like jokey, a little too much for your liking. I felt as though he still got on fire ass material. He got on fire ass material. Young L wasn't as clean in the second round as he was the first round. You know, he still has some good bars. The whole thing about somebody mentioned about Ehart being a stud, that was crazy. And being a stud, big homie, that was wild. Um, I like what other than the fake choke with Young L. Other than that, I like what I saw from him. This is like the second time I've seen him, and I've liked what I've seen from him. But Appa moved on. It ended up being Rob versus Appa for the 6K. Um, um, Appa went first. The Harriet Tubman bars. Shut the fuck up while I lead you. Uh, Appa breaking down like what smack meant, and the way he did that, I liked it. The big homie Quan bar was dope. Appa talked about people wanting him to change his style up. He talked about that. Appa had a solid ass round. Then Raw went. Raw had the camera bar. The Avatar bar was dope. That's the Whisper song was crazy. This begin with a K. The capital H. Like Rob was going off. Like him and Appa was a very very close battle. It was a very very close battle. You know, like I know Tay Rock said it came down to the bars, and Raw had 7 and Appa had 9. That lets you know how close of a battle it was. It does. It lets you know how close of a battle it was. So I'm not mad because even though Raw didn't win the 6K, he has an opportunity to battle Loso for 10K. So you see how one like opportunities come. Like Raw was not picked as a favorite for the Smack Track to URL tournament. He wasn't. He was an underdog. He was an underdog. If we being honest, like when people were talking about the tournament, Raw's name was not coming up as like one of those I gotta make sure I watch. Like when people picking their winners, I maybe heard one or two people mention Raw. And it's like, for me, when people mention Raw, I don't think people give him the credit he deserves. Like, he did the tournament, he lost against Fendi. You know, that was controversial. He then you continue battling, having a solid year. Then you get to be a part of the Smack Track to URL tournament. Another opportunity. Now you get an opportunity to battle Los over 10K. Like, you can't tell me Rod ain't working if all these opportunities are coming his way. Rod's getting these opportunities because he's putting in the work. He's showing up prepared. Like, win, lose, or draw, Rod's giving you everything, landing out on the line every time he battles. And a lot of people saying, "Oh, Rob was prepared because he's part of OSBL." Yes, that definitely helps. That definitely helps being a part of OSBL. You know, salute to Kels and everything she's done with OSBL and the movement over there and the talent that's over there. Like, Rod's one of those. When you talk Florida, you can't not mention Rod when we talk Florida. Because here's the thing: a lot of times when people talk about Florida, they be like Don Marino, they'll say Loso, Deuce, Logic, and it's like Rod is one of those. One of those. Like Rod got a name in Florida, but Rod's also making a name over on OSBL, which is the DMV, but also now going around, building in other states. So salute to Rod. Like, keep grinding, Rod. Like, the hard work is not in vain. These opportunities are coming to you because you're deserving of them. You're putting in the work. People are noticing the work. Like, you and Loso is gonna be a great battle. It's gonna be a great battle. It is. It is. Like, you have people that have cosigns from people, and that's why they get opportunities. And then you have people that work and they grind and let the work speak for them. And Rod's one of those. The work has just been speaking for him all year. From the controversial battle with Fendi to battling Monty, his malpractice battle, and to this, Rod is continually building his resume and adding on to what he's doing. So he may have lost in the sense of the tournament, but Rod didn't lose because he got another battle out of it. For 10K. Salute to Florida. Salute to the Florida cousins. Salute to Rainfire Moon. Like the support that Raw had behind him with Florida. I saw Pone, I saw Ape, Rainfire Moon, Nay. I want to say it was like some other people. Oh, Amuse. Like, Raw had Florida behind him. I saw Don Rich tweeting about it. He was also in the chat as far as the Twitch. So say what you want. Raw has been doing his thing. He's been doing his thing. You can't take nothing from him. You can't take nothing from him. It's only up from here. It's only up from here. As far as Raw, Appa, salute the Appa. That's Maryland. So anytime Maryland wins, that's major. That's major. Anytime anybody from Maryland wins, that's major. So he represents Cambridge, Maryland, but it's Maryland nonetheless. Like, salute the Appa. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, he started in the Spaces EFM and impersonation battles and winning the title in the headband and eye battle." All those things that Appa did got him to this moment. Timing is key. Timing is key, and I don't know if people realize that timing is key. And if you notice, that's kind of a thing with some of these guys, as far as being a part of this tournament, waiting for their moment. Appa waited for his moment to come. He knew eventually the opportunity would come for URL. He didn't know specifically probably how it would come, but he waited for his moment and then showed up and showed out when the moment arrived. That's what you do. This is what you do. When you finally get your moment, you show out. That's what you do. Solid, battle with them. Salute the Appa on winning. I know they mentioned about doing a 2-on-2, the Space Invaders, which is Eunice and Appa versus the Horsemen, being Loso and A Ward. I'm guessing that, I don't know which. I guess that's supposed to be November, because Smack mentioned about having something happen. He's working on something for November, so we gonna see. Timing is everything, and I think this was the right time and opportunity for a lot of the guys that was in this tournament. Appa's been doing his thing in iBattle. Then finally comes over to URL through the Smack track to URL tournament. That's why I say the opportunities you've been killing over at iBattle. Now you come to URL with the tournament and you win it. You the pieces are falling in place. We've all known Appa to be amazing. We've known it. And if you see what Appa's been doing, eventually URL was in the cards for him. And he's here now. And to the folks that want to say about him switching his style because he's on URL, this, that, and the third, if you like a battler, he'll figure out how to be him and still translate with the crowd. And I'm pretty sure Appa understands that the iBattle crowd is not the same as the URL crowd. So I'm pretty sure Appa knows these things. So whenever Appa gets on a card, he's going to make that adjustment. I don't think anybody needs to try to make him change from who he is. Apple will figure these things out as he continues. As he continues, he will figure things out. Gary. Gary has always been dope to me. I've watched his battles as far as OSBL. And then when he went to do RB with the intake, and then went back to OSBL. Like, some people, you're not gonna automatically like everybody. I think Gary probably gained some fans. He gained some fans tonight. Because I know people are like, well, where's Gary been? Where's Gary been? This, that, and the third. Gary can rap. Like, don't let the whole thing first list like throw you off. Because it doesn't throw him off. That man gets out there and raps his ass off, performs his ass off. Not missing a beat. So I hope this is just the beginning of seeing Gary more. That's what I'm hoping this means. Monster's on a lot of. Monster's been cooking. But sometimes it. He had high points, and then he kind of energy wise, but he still got big things for the rest of the year. So he may not have won the tournament, but his name is known over here for URL. Don't mean we won't see him pop up again. This was like a small introduction for some people, for who some of these guys are. If you didn't know who they were already, that's kind of what this tournament was. Like, the Monster got a couple of battles before the year is out, so keep doing your thing, Monster. The fans are watching. They're seeing what you're doing. They're seeing the improvements. As their competition gets better, your material is getting better. The moments are getting better. Like, it's just the pacing. You be really getting into it, so the pacing, and then your energy kind of. But aside from that, that's the only thing. Like I said, Young L. I saw Young L first. RBE with the scared money don't make no money. That event. I know him the like battle on the beat as far as verbal war zone. Like, he's nice though. Young L is nice. Like I said, I've liked what I've seen from him. To the people who might not have been in tune with Young L, now you see he can rap a cappella. Not just on the beat. He's nice. I look forward to what's next for him. Gorilla, he's been getting better. I look like, far as like who he battles next will be the question. Like, what's the next opportunity for him?
We just started silent.
Yeah, for what's next for him. Give me a moment. I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back. All right, so Gorilla. A lot of people saying his second his round was better than his first. Why he wait till the second one to really like let off a clip? You know, maybe that's just the setup of how Gorilla did the rounds. You know, because either he was going to use the second round, he might have made it out the first round then, or like he ended up losing in the second round. So it was hard to tell if he switched the rounds around how they would have went still. But Gorilla definitely got the, it rapped. You know, he rapped very well. You know, so I look forward to whoever's next for Gorilla or what what comes of him being a part of the tournament. Because I'm pretty sure he probably get a good name next. Raw. Like I said, Raw been on his numbers. Oh yeah. This is just the beginning. A lot of y'all are just now getting kept to Raw. And what Raw's been doing since he battled Fendi. Or maybe Monty. Um, I want to say a lot of people started talking about Raw with the Monty battle and then the controversial battle with Fendi. That's when like a lot of people keyed in with Raw. And it's like, y'all just keying in on those two moments. And Raw been doing this thing. He been doing this thing for a minute. You know, if you talk about a battle with Loso with 10K on the floor, you think Ryan about to be the best version of him? Tonight was probably one of the best versions of Raw we've seen. And even the battle was that close. So him losing the Opera is like it was that close. So whenever that battle happens, as far as Raw and Loso, expect the best version of Raw you said. But it sounded like that was potentially going to happen anyway. It sounds like that was in the works anyway. So just gotta wait and see with that. Gotta wait and see. But Raw and Loso is gonna be one of those for Florida. And I'm Raw. I may not have won the 6K, but I got presented another opportunity with some money attached to it. And you got Smack and Rock and Doc talking about you in high regards. So you just never know what's next. You just never know what's next to come with that. So like keep your eye on Raw. Raw's been going up. He's been outside all year. He's been doing his thing all year. Y'all just honed in when he battled Fendi for whatever reason. Like because the controversy that came with that. But Ron's gonna continue being amazing like he's been all year. And for the people that wasn't tuned in, now you tuned in with Raw. Like I said, salute the Florida cousins. We did not. Like salute to y'all. Florida's been doing their thing this year. Raw, Dawn, Ape, Pone, Kane, Rolo, C100, Muse. Like you just had to battle the YNs with Zai, Hoodie Boy Keelan. OSBO was just in Miami. Like salute to the Florida cousins. Like you can't not mention Raw when you mention Florida. That's just what it is. Dollar Bill. People talk about how he was rapping faster, but okay, so we're used to him slow cooking. Yes, if he has a 3-minute round or 2:30, he can slow cook it. But you talking about he was on the clock with this, so he had to up the pace for this. So people, I kind of like it to a point. Dollar rapping a little bit faster, but it was kind of hard to hear at points. I guess it was the echo of the room, which made the audio a little hard to hear. But Dollar is Dollar. Dollar is unique in its own way. Either you're gonna love his style or hate his style. That's just what it is. If you love it, you love it. You hate it, you hate it. Um, salute to the guys. Like that was fire. And if Smack's talking about having more events on Twitch, then yeah. Like when we talking about the new talent, like as much as we love the names, we want to see new talent in a mix of it for URL. You know, we want to see new blood mixed in a mix of it. So I if he set up like he take these names, these 8 names, and make some matchups off of them, and sprinkle in some of the other newer, like some of the other talent with it, that could be an event. Like, remember how Smack used to do the super fights? He could do that. He could do super fights, and that could be a thing that he does every month for like the newer talent. You know, like this was a dope tournament. I look forward to the next one. And then eventually how even the guys who didn't win still get incorporated some way somehow within URL. You talking about that's 8 talented guys. 8 talented guys that have all, have success with battle rap. It's just we look forward to what's next with everybody. Um, I look forward to what's next. I do. Like every time we keep seeing cars, everybody I keep seeing everybody talk about, oh, it's the same people, oh, it's the same people. Now, if Smack was to add the 8 of them into the mix, with you got the last top 6 and the first top 6, there could be some matchups within that, which could like that's why I mentioned about Super Fight. Super Fight gave you battles that weren't necessarily like the top battles, but presented us with good battles when he did those. So we gonna see. Like Monster battles what he's on Crown Siege, Dollars on Crown Siege. Like some of y'all are booked within the next couple of months for different cards and stuff. So it's gonna be interesting to see what comes of Appa winning the tournament and how soon will we see him on a URL card and against who. And the same for some of the other guys. I would love to still see y'all on a URL card and in the mix. You know, even if you put the rest of y'all in the mix and say, Abba has a choice of who he could pick for the battle, I wouldn't be mad at that. And I don't think any of them would feel some type of way with that. But Smack is on to something with the events on Twitch. He's having success with them, and they're clear too. And if you missed it, he's not taking it off that you can't go back and watch it. So win-win situation. As long as people subscribe and sub and everything like that, help Smack to make money. And he can keep having these events, which are free to us, as long as we support via the Twitch. Like it started with Doc with his event with the Just Business, then Smack with the Crucible, the DMV Crucible 2 weeks ago. And then 2 weeks later, now with the Smack Track URL tournament on Twitch. So you talking 3 great events that have been on Twitch, and just with new talent, because it's more than enough of it. It's more than enough new talent. So, like I said, Zai versus Hoodie Boy Keelan dropped. Go run them numbers up. Whoever you feel won. Good battle of the YNs. Zai is on OSBO's Homecoming 25 versus Rashad the God. Say what you want, but Zai's having a solid year. He's having a solid year. I think Hoodie Boy Keelan has always been nice. I just would love to see him battle more. I know he's in school, but I would love to still see him battle more. I know next weekend we have we got some events. Next weekend we got what? Exodus. Next weekend we got what? We got Next weekend we got yeah, Exodus is next weekend. Trenches I Control Everything's next weekend. Um, what else? It's another one that's next weekend. I gotta let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here it is. The Trenches, the Court Series is also next weekend. So so mm, so definitely gonna stream one of these days this week coming up to talk about the events next weekend. But again, salute the Oppa winning the Smack track to URL tournament. Salute to that. Salute to everybody who's a part of it. If y'all not in tune with them, you need to get in tune with them. Like crazy. Another great event, Smack. Another great event. Holler at y'all later in the week to talk about some of the other things going on, along with some of the hot topics and stuff.